Your linkage spring is busted. Got a ballpoint pen?
It's one in the glove compartment. Should I bother to ask why?
He could solve any crisis with a paperclip and a piece of gum. But time is the one challenge even Richard Dean Anderson couldn't outrun. Decades after the final explosion, the MacGyver cast has undergone transformations that will leave you breathless. From heartbreaking losses to shocking physical changes, join us as we revisit the legends of the 80s. You won't believe how much your favorite secret agents have changed today. Elisa Davalos as Nikki Carpenter. Born on May 30th, 1959, the Canoga Park, California native joined the cast of the hit series MacGyver during its third season. At the age of 28, Davalos stepped into the role of Nikki Carpenter, a Phoenix Foundation agent designed to be a spirited foil and potential love interest for the titular hero. Her addition was a significant production move intended to evolve the show's format by introducing a permanent female lead to banter with Richard Dean Anderson, aiming to create sparks and broaden the series' narrative scope. Despite the showrunner's intentions, the character faced an uphill battle that contrasted sharply with Davalos's skilled performance. While Elisa Davalos was a dedicated actress from a respected show business family, the character of Nikki was often written as abrasive and argumentative, leading to a severe disconnect with the audience. The dynamic felt forced to loyal fans who preferred MacGyver as a solitary adventurer, and the attempt to replicate the popular moonlighting style of chemistry fell flat. Consequently, Davalos faced the professional hardship of a viewer backlash. The experiment failed, and her character was abruptly written out of the series halfway through the season, a difficult outcome for an actress attempting to cement a place in a popular primetime drama. Elisa Davalos continued to act sporadically throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, with appearances in shows like Life Goes On and Doogie Howser, MD, though she eventually shifted her focus away from Hollywood. She is the mother of successful actress Elisa Davalos, known for The Man in the High Castle, and has largely stepped out of the public eye to lead a private life. As of 2026, at the age of 67, she is retired from the entertainment industry, leaving behind a legacy that continues through her daughter's work, while remaining a distinct if controversial footnote in MacGyver history. MacGyver taught us that intelligence and kindness are the greatest tools anyone can possess. Watching the cast age gracefully reminds us that while the hair might change, the lessons they taught us about perseverance remain. It's been an honor to revisit these legends with you today. If you still carry a Swiss Army knife because of Angus MacGyver, we want to hear about it. Please like this video and subscribe to join our community of classic TV fans. Richard Dean Anderson as Angus MacGyver. Born on January 23, 1950, in Minneapolis, Minnesota, the aspiring professional hockey player turned actor found his defining role as the resourceful secret agent who preferred science over violence. At the age of 35, Anderson's portrayal of a hero who used duct tape and a Swiss Army knife to solve impossible problems became a global phenomenon. For 7 seasons, his ability to improvise solutions out of household items not only made the show a massive rating success, but also permanently entered the cultural lexicon, with "to MacGyver" eventually becoming an officially recognized verb in the dictionary. While Angus MacGyver was often a solitary and serious figure, Richard Dean Anderson was known on set for his goofy sense of humor and love of pranks, a stark contrast to his character's stoicism. However, the role came with a heavy physical price. Anderson insisted on performing many of his own stunts, leading to a history of back, knee, and foot surgeries that plagued him for years. Professionally stepping out of MacGyver's shadow proved difficult initially. His passion project and first follow-up series, Legend, a quirky steampunk western, struggled to find an audience and was cancelled after just 12 episodes, a disappointing professional setback, as he attempted to diversify his acting portfolio beyond the iconic mullet-wearing troubleshooter. Anderson eventually defied the odds of typecasting by finding lightning in a bottle a second time, with the massive success of Stargate SG-1, playing Colonel Jack O'Neill for a decade before slowly stepping back to focus on his personal life. He largely retired from major acting roles to raise his daughter Wiley and dedicate himself to environmental activism, particularly with the Sea Shepherd Conservation Society. As of 2026, at the age of 76, he is living a quieter, semi-retired life in Malibu, occasionally appearing at fan conventions to support his charitable causes while enjoying a legacy as one of television's most enduring action stars. Teri Hatcher as Penny Parker. Born on December 8, 1964 in Palo Alto, California, the former NFL cheerleader transitioned into acting with early guest spots before landing a memorable recurring role on the action-adventure series MacGyver. At the age of 21, Hatcher introduced audiences to Penny Parker, a bubbly, talkative, and somewhat scatterbrained aspiring actress who frequently stumbled into trouble and required rescuing by the show's titular hero. Her portrayal offered a comedic and charming foil to Richard Dean Anderson's stoic character, making Penny a fan favorite and establishing Hatcher's ability to handle light-hearted comedic roles effectively. Despite the dizzy blonde persona of Penny Parker, Teri Hatcher is intellectually driven, having studied mathematics and engineering at De Anza College, a stark contrast to the naive character she played. Her career path following MacGyver was turbulent. While she achieved iconic status as Lois Lane in Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman, she faced a difficult period afterward, struggling to break free from typecasting and the so-called Bond girl curse, following her role in Tomorrow Never Dies. Her massive comeback in Desperate Housewives revived her career but brought its own set of challenges as the show was plagued by rumors of intense on-set feuds and media scrutiny regarding her relationships with co-stars, often overshadowing her Golden Globe-winning performance. Teri Hatcher eventually diversified her career beyond scripted drama, finding success as a voice actress in the acclaimed film Coraline and reinventing herself as a lifestyle guru and celebrity chef on her YouTube channel, Hatching Change. She even ventured into the world of stand-up comedy in her 50s, touring with her own set. As of 2026, at the age of 61, she is alive and continues to work in the entertainment industry, frequently appearing in television movies and variety specials while maintaining a dedicated following on social media where she advocates for health and wellness. Mayim Bialik as Lisa Woodman. Born on December 12, 1975, the San Diego native joined the hit series MacGyver as a recurring guest star to play a precocious and resourceful student. At the age of 14, Bialik's portrayal of Lisa Woodman brought a youthful energy to the action-heavy show, creating a memorable dynamic where she often acted as a quirky, trouble-prone foil to the titular hero. Her performance was a crucial stepping stone in her early career, proving her ability to hold her own alongside established stars and setting the stage for her imminent breakout success as the lead in Blossom. While Lisa Woodman was depicted as a somewhat naive teenager, often stumbling into dangerous situations, Bialik possessed a formidable intellect and academic drive that sharply contrasted with her on-screen persona. This divergence culminated in her stepping away from the limelight to earn a PhD in neuroscience, a move that made her return to Hollywood difficult, as she fought against being typecast solely as a 90s teen icon. Her professional journey also involved public setbacks, including the cancellation of her sitcom Call Me Kat, and a tumultuous exit as the host of Jeopardy following mixed viewer reception and labor strike controversies, forcing her to constantly prove her versatility in an unforgiving industry. Mayim Bialik has since solidified her status as a multi-hyphenate talent balancing roles as an actress, author, and neuroscientist. She has found stability and creative control through her mental health podcast, Mayim Bialik's Breakdown, and has expanded her repertoire to include screenwriting and directing. As of 2026, at the age of 50, she is continuing to build upon the massive success of her tenure on The Big Bang Theory, while focusing on independent projects that bridge the gap between pop culture and scientific advocacy. Cuba Gooding Jr. as Billy Colton. Born on January 2, 1968 in the Bronx, New York, the energetic actor secured one of his first significant recurring roles on the hit series MacGyver. At the age of 21, Gooding Jr. portrayed Billy Colton, the youngest member of a family of bounty hunters who frequently crossed paths with the titular hero. While the role was relatively small compared to his future blockbuster stardom, his performance as the eager and street-smart Billy showcased the magnetic charisma and youthful intensity that would eventually lead him to Hollywood royalty. His recurring appearances served as a crucial launchpad, predating his breakout performance in Boys and the Hood, and establishing him as a talent to watch. Despite the wholesome and heroic nature of the characters he played early in his career, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s professional trajectory became a complex study of extreme highs and lows. While Billy Colton was a focused and ambitious figure, Gooding Jr.'s real-life career was often chaotic. After winning an Academy Award for Jerry Maguire, he faced a severe professional decline, often cited as a prime example of the Oscar curse. He struggled to find roles that matched his dramatic potential, drifting into critically panned comedies and direct-to-video films that damaged his box office credibility. Furthermore, in stark contrast to the innocent charm of his early roles, his later years were marred by serious legal battles and allegations of misconduct, creating a difficult professional gap, where major studios became hesitant to hire him, effectively stalling a once A-list career. Cuba Gooding Jr. has spent recent years navigating the legal system and attempting to salvage his reputation following a series of highly publicized court cases that concluded with plea deals and settlements in the early 2000s. As of 2026, at the age of 58, he is slowly attempting to reintegrate into the entertainment industry, taking on roles in independent films and smaller productions. While he remains a recognizable face with a legacy of iconic performances, his current status is far removed from the superstardom he enjoyed in the 1990s, as he works to rebuild a career redefined by personal accountability and perseverance. Bruce McGill as Jack Dalton. Born on July 11, 1950, the San Antonio, Texas native had already achieved cult status as D-Day in National Lampoon's Animal House, before stepping into the world of Angus MacGyver. At the age of 36, McGill took on the recurring role of Jack Dalton, a scheming, fast-talking bush pilot, and arguably MacGyver's only friend. His portrayal brought a necessary comedic energy to the action-adventure series, creating a lovable scoundrel whose incessant get-rich-quick schemes constantly landed the protagonist in perilous situations. McGill's chemistry with Richard Dean Anderson was electric, turning a side character into a fan favorite and a cultural archetype for the troublesome best friend. In stark contrast to the manic, unreliable, and often cowardly character of Jack Dalton, Bruce McGill is known in the industry as a disciplined, serious, and highly versatile character actor with a commanding presence. While Dalton was a flighty improviser, McGill is a grounded professional who approached the role with precise comedic timing. Despite his talent, McGill faced the unique struggles of a working actor, often battling against being typecast solely as a comedic sidekick or a tough guy villain. He navigated the uncertainty of the profession, where pilots often failed and roles were sporadic, requiring a relentless hustle that contrasted with the easygoing con-man nature of the character he played on screen. Bruce McGill has maintained a prolific career well into his later years, successfully transitioning into authoritative, dramatic roles in film and television, such as Detective Vince Corsack in Rizzoli and Isles. He has remained active in high-profile projects, including roles in Reacher and The Gilded Age, showcasing his range from comedy to intense drama. As of 2026, at the age of 76, he is still a respected figure in Hollywood, continuing to work steadily while enjoying a quiet life with his wife, Gloria Lee, far removed from the chaotic antics of the aviator cap he once wore. Dana Elcar as Peter Thornton. Born on October 10, 1927 in Ferndale, Michigan, the versatile character actor was already an industry veteran before landing his most famous role. At the age of 57, Elcar began his tenure as Peter Thornton, initially an operative for the DXS and later the director of operations for the Phoenix Foundation. As MacGyver's boss and best friend, he provided the grounded authority and administrative cover that allowed the show's hero to perform his improvisational miracles. His portrayal offered a warm paternal counterweight to the action, cementing the character as an essential component of the show's chemistry and global success. While Peter Thornton was portrayed as a man of keen observation and oversight, Dana Elcar faced a devastating personal battle that directly conflicted with his profession. In the midst of the series' run, Elcar began suffering from severe glaucoma, a condition that eventually robbed him of his sight. The contrast between his previous ability to navigate a set with ease and his new reality was stark. He struggled with the fear that his disability would end his career. However, instead of being written out or replaced, Elcar's real-life blindness was courageously written into the character of Pete Thornton. This created a blur between reality and fiction that was difficult for the actor to navigate, as he had to relearn how to perform using audio cues and assistance while maintaining the persona of a capable leader. Dana Elcar continued to act sporadically after MacGyver ended in 1992, appearing in Law and Order, but his failing eyesight naturally limited his screen opportunities. He devoted much of his later life to the National Federation of the Blind, transforming his personal hardship into advocacy. Dana Elcar passed away at the Community Memorial Hospital in Ventura, California, on June 6, 2005, at the age of 77, from complications related to pneumonia. His death marked the end of a prolific career that spanned 50 years, remembered fondly not only for his role as the loyal Pete Thornton, but for his trailblazing perseverance as a blind actor in mainstream television. Elisa Davalos as Nikki Carpenter. Born on May 30, 1959, the Canoga Park, California native joined the cast of the hit series MacGyver during its third season. At the age of 28, Davalos stepped into the role of Nikki Carpenter, a Phoenix Foundation agent designed to be a spirited foil and potential love interest for the titular hero. Her addition was a significant production move intended to evolve the show's format by introducing a permanent female lead to banter with Richard Dean Anderson, aiming to create sparks and broaden the series' narrative scope. Despite the showrunner's intentions, the character faced an uphill battle that contrasted sharply with Davalos's skilled performance. While Elisa Davalos was a dedicated actress from a respected show business family, the character of Nikki was often written as abrasive and argumentative, leading to a severe disconnect with the audience. The dynamic felt forced to loyal fans who preferred MacGyver as a solitary adventurer, and the attempt to replicate the popular moonlighting style of chemistry fell flat. Consequently, Davalos faced the professional hardship of a viewer backlash. The experiment failed, and her character was abruptly written out of the series halfway through the season, a difficult outcome for an actress attempting to cement a place in a popular primetime drama. Elisa Davalos continued to act sporadically throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, with appearances in shows like Life Goes On and Doogie Howser, MD, though she eventually shifted her focus away from Hollywood. She is the mother of successful actress Elisa Davalos, known for The Man in the High Castle, and has largely stepped out of the public eye to lead a private life. As of 2026, at the age of 67, she is retired from the entertainment industry, leaving behind a legacy that continues through her daughter's work, while remaining a distinct, if controversial, footnote in MacGyver history. Michael Desbarres as Murdoch. Born on January 24, 1948, in England, the British aristocrat and rock musician made his debut as the master of disguise in the MacGyver episode Partners. At the age of 39, Desbarres' portrayal of the hitman Murdoch became an instant sensation, serving as the perfect chaotic foil to the show's pragmatic hero. His theatrical performance, coupled with the character's seemingly supernatural ability to survive fatal explosions and return to wreak havoc, established Murdoch as the series' sole recurring arch-nemesis and a cultural icon of 80s television villainy. The contrast between the actor and the role was stark. While Murdoch was a sociopathic assassin, Desbarres is a gregarious, empathetic glam rock frontman known for his charm and wit. This duality came with its own set of challenges, as Desbarres often struggled against being typecast solely as the sophisticated European bad guy in Hollywood, limiting the variety of roles offered to him. His journey was also marked by the volatility of the entertainment industry. Just prior to MacGyver, he stepped in to front the supergroup The Power Station at Live Aid, a massive career high that was quickly followed by the band's dissolution, forcing him to navigate the uncertain waters of a career shift from rock star to character actor while maintaining his hard-won sobriety. Michael Desbarres successfully sustained a multifaceted career, later becoming a beloved radio host for Little Steven's Underground Garage on Sirius XM and appearing in the 2016 MacGyver reboot as a mentor to the new Murdoch. He maintained a strong presence in the rock world, releasing documentaries and albums that chronicled his wild life in the music industry. As of 2026, at the age of 78, he is vibrant and active, continuing to broadcast his radio show, perform live music, and engage with fans who revere him as both a rock survivor and the ultimate TV nemesis. John Anderson as Harry Jackson. Born on October 20, 1922 in Clayton, Illinois, the imposing veteran actor brought a sense of history and gravitas to the screen long before joining the cast of the hit action series. At the age of 63, Anderson debuted as Harry Jackson, the estranged but deeply loved grandfather of Angus MacGyver. His portrayal was pivotal to the series' lore, as he played the man responsible for teaching MacGyver the values of resourcefulness and non-violent conflict resolution. The character became a cultural touchstone for fans of the show, grounding the high-adventure plots with emotional stakes and providing a heartwarming explanation for the hero's unique skill set. While Harry Jackson was a reclusive outdoorsman who preferred the silence of nature to human company, John Anderson was a ubiquitous and highly active figure in Hollywood, known as the Tall Man, due to his 6'5" frame. The warmth he displayed as Harry Jackson stood in sharp contrast to the vast majority of his career, where he was frequently typecast as menacing villains, cold authority figures, or stern Western gunslingers due to his height and Abraham Lincoln-like features. He faced the classic struggle of the character actor, possessing a face known to millions, while his name often remained obscure to the general public. Despite the industry often pigeonholing him into antagonistic roles, he fought to bring a rare vulnerability to his performance on MacGyver, breaking the mold of the heavy-handed characters he had played for decades. John Anderson remained active in the entertainment industry until his final days, accumulating hundreds of credits over a prolific career. Sadly, he did not live to see the long-term cult status the show would achieve in syndication. On August 7, 1992, at the age of 69, Anderson passed away from a heart attack at his home in Sherman Oaks, California. His death occurred just months after the original MacGyver series aired its final episode, marking a poignant end to his era of television. He was cremated, and his ashes were scattered at sea, leaving behind a legacy as the beloved mentor to one of TV's greatest heroes. Robin Mossley as Wilt Bozer. Born on April 3, 1955 in Vancouver, British Columbia, the Canadian character actor joined the cast of MacGyver during its later seasons. At the age of 35, Mossley stepped into the role of Wilt Bozer MacGyver's quirky and intrusive neighbor at the marina. While originally a recurring comedic relief character intended to balance the show's action, Mossley's performance left a surprising legacy. His portrayal of the lovable, slightly inept neighbor became a cult favorite among the fan base, so much so that when the series was rebooted in 2016, the character of Wilt Bozer was elevated from a minor neighbor to a main protagonist, a direct testament to the charm and memorable eccentricity Mossley originally imbued into the role. Unlike the clumsy and socially unaware character of Bozer, Robin Mossley is known in the industry as a sharp, articulate, and highly disciplined professional. The contrast between his real-life demeanor and his on-screen persona was often stark. While Bozer was frequently the source of chaos, Mossley was a grounding force on set. His career, however, was defined by the unique struggle of the working actor in the Vancouver film industry. He frequently battled typecasting, often slotted into roles as nervous bureaucrats, scientists, or eccentric officials in sci-fi productions like The X-Files and Stargate SG-1. Mossley has spoken openly about the anxiety that accompanied this lack of stability and the pressure of auditioning, admitting that the constant hustle of the industry eventually took a toll on his peace of mind. Robin Mossley has largely stepped away from the camera in recent years, enjoying a quieter life in Canada. As of 2026, at the age of 70, he is retired from the screen, focusing on his personal life and long-term marriage to Helen Jarvis. While he no longer seeks the spotlight, he remains a celebrated figure in the sci-fi convention circuit, where fans continue to recognize him not just for his dramatic turns in Stargate, but as the original face of Wilt Bozer, the neighbor who started it all. Tia Carrere as Tiu. Born on January 2, 1967 in Honolulu, Hawaii, the aspiring singer and actress landed the guest in the MacGyver Season 2 episode titled The Wish Child. At the age of 19, Carrere portrayed a young woman using her striking beauty and screen presence to captivate the audience. While this was a guest appearance rather than a permanent lead, it served as a pivotal moment in her early filmography, showcasing the charisma that would eventually propel her from local discovery to a recognizable Hollywood star. Despite the often passive or exoticized nature of the roles she was offered early in her career, Tia Carrere was tenacious, business-minded, and possessed a rock-and-roll edge that contrasted with the delicate characters she portrayed. Her journey was fraught with professional legal battles. Most notably, she famously sued to get out of her contract with General Hospital to accept a role in The A-Team. The move backfired, leading to a dismissal of her claim and the loss of both jobs, a harsh lesson in industry politics. Additionally, she struggled for years against being typecast, based on her ethnicity, fighting to showcase her comedic timing and vocal ability in an industry that often focused solely on her appearance. Tia Carrere eventually shattered those early limitations, achieving iconic status as Cassandra Wong in Wayne's World, starring in the action series Relic Hunter and voicing Nani in the beloved franchise Lilo and Stitch. She also successfully pivoted back to her first love, music, winning multiple Grammy Awards for her Hawaiian music albums. As of 2026, at the age of 59, she remains a vibrant force in the entertainment industry, continuing to lend her voice to animated projects and appearing in television series, having solidified a legacy that extends far beyond her early days as a guest star. Jason Priestley as Danny. Born on August 28, 1969 in Vancouver, British Columbia, the Canadian actor landed one of his earliest dramatic roles in the fourth season of the hit action-adventure series MacGyver. At the age of 19, Priestley portrayed Danny, a troubled teenager entangled in a local gang who finds himself questioning his loyalty to his blood brothers after a tragic shooting. While the role was a guest spot rather than a series lead, his convincing performance as a conflicted youth showcased the charisma and emotional range that would just 2 years later catapult him to international superstardom as a teen idol on Beverly Hills 90,210. Unlike the scared and easily manipulated character of Danny, Priestley developed a reputation in his personal life as a confident thrill-seeker with a deep passion for professional race car driving. This high-octane hobby brought about significant struggle. In 2002, he survived a near-fatal crash at the Kentucky Speedway that fractured his spine and feet, requiring a grueling rehabilitation process to relearn how to walk. Professionally, he also battled the intense typecasting that followed his global fame, spending years working to shed the clean-cut Brandon Walsh image to gain respect as a serious director and actor in darker, more mature projects. Jason Priestley successfully reinvented his career by moving behind the camera to direct numerous television episodes and starring in the long-running detective series Private Eyes. He settled into a stable family life, marrying makeup artist Naomi Loud in 2005, with whom he shares 2 children, and authored a memoir detailing his journey through fame and recovery. As of 2026, at the age of 57, he remains a prolific figure in the entertainment industry, continuing to produce, direct, and act in productions across both Canada and the United States. Nana Visitor as Laura Farren. Born on July 26, 1957 in New York City, the talented dancer and actress stepped into the high-action world of MacGyver during its debut season. At the age of 28, Visitor's portrayal of Laura Farren, a tough and gritty oil well firefighter in the episode Hellfire, provided a memorable foil to the show's titular hero. Her performance was praised for depicting a capable blue-collar woman who could hold her own in a dangerous environment, a role that helped establish her versatility as a performer during a time when female guest characters were often relegated to damsel-in-distress tropes. Despite the rough-hewn, dirt-covered exterior of Laura Farren, Nana Visitor was actually a classically trained ballet dancer with a background in Broadway theater, possessing a grace and refinement that contrasted sharply with the character's rugged lifestyle. This period of her career was defined by the relentless grind of the guest star circuit, where she faced the instability of moving from set to set without a permanent role. She endured the professional heartbreak of show cancellations, most notably with the sitcom adaptation of Working Girl in 1990. Despite landing the lead role, the show was canceled after only 8 episodes aired, a significant blow that forced her to start over in a competitive industry where typecasting remained a constant threat. Nana Visitor eventually secured her legacy as Major Kira Nerys on Star Trek Deep Space Nine, a role that offered the stability she had long sought. She married her co-star, Alexander Siddig, with whom she had a son, though they later divorced, and she has remained a dedicated mother and artist. She has continued to act in film, television, and on Broadway, recently exploring the world of writing with a focus on the women of Star Trek. As of 2026, at the age of 69, she is enjoying a resurgence in popularity, actively attending conventions, voicing characters in animated projects like Star Trek Lower Decks, and celebrating the publication of her recent book, maintaining a vibrant connection with fans worldwide. MacGyver taught us that intelligence and kindness are the greatest tools anyone can possess. Watching the cast age gracefully reminds us that while the hair might change, the lessons they taught us about perseverance remain. It's been an honor to revisit these legends with you today. If you still carry a Swiss Army knife because of Angus MacGyver, we want to hear about it. Please like this video and subscribe to join our community of classic TV fans.